Good morning. This is Bill from out of Europa, Naples, and I've got a woodpecker going absolutely nuts over there somewhere. But hopefully he calms down while we do this. What I have is this incredible 2011 Maserati Gran Turismo. I got that wrong. Sorry, this is a 2011 Maserati Gran Turismo. And what a good looking car. It's finished in a really attractive soft blue metallic outside. It's got cream beige leather inside. And what Maserati has done with this thing is given us one of the most elegant and lovely ways to have a midlife crisis. The styling is by Pininfarina. It's absolutely gorgeous. Italy's design house. This is an S model, so it's got the upgraded V8, 4.7 liters, 433 horsepower, ZF 6-speed automatic with paddle shifters. Being part of the sport package, you get these 20-inch Neptune wheels. You see the sun's coming out already. God, that's offensive. I have to get earlier starts. And now we got weed whackers going. So we got woodpeckers, weed whackers, and the sun. Anyway, beautiful Trident Mercury. Can't remember what they're called. Maserati has these incredible Italian names for everything, but beautiful 20-inch Trident wheels there. You got these little winglets in the front, black grille, sort of blacked out headlamps. Incredible curvature on this car, just an absolutely stunning design. You've got molded side skirts there, an integrated spoiler on the trunk, which just looks lovely. You got Tridents on the quarter panels. You got a shark fin on top, huge oval tailpipes letting that big V8 breathe. And as part of the sport package, when you have the sport button activated, it uses those little electric valves to open up the exhaust and really make car guys go absolutely nuts. So with all that said, let's start inside the trunk, which is arguably the most boring place on the car. I'll grab the keys here. All right, so in here, I can't remember the cubic feet measurements, but it's not that big. It's big enough for golf clubs or whatever else you want to stuff in there. But for such a giant car, it really does not have a very big trunk. It, of course, does give you some back seat room. But this thing is based on the Quattroporte frame, so it is a very long, large car. You think they could have giving you a few more cubic feet in here. You see it's got the original Maserati toolkit, the mats. Underneath here, if you pull it up, there's a little place for storage, and everything is lovely back there in the trunk. Very nicely finished with the carpet. Everyone's going to be real impressed when you open the trunk on this car. Let's have a look under the hood, because that is incredible. So what we find up here is let's see if I can do this. I always have trouble lifting oh God, perfect. Okay, there is a Ferrari-derived 4.7 liter V8. Again, about 433 horsepower. It's not only incredibly artistic to look at, it's amazing to listen to. Maserati just has the best sounding engines in the business. You can see everything's mint on this super low mile car. Beautiful Rosso valve covers there. All very lovely, proper, as it should be. Love the Trident on the intake there, and everything looking good. Wait till I fire that thing up. What a great sound. All right, let's have a look inside. Actually, before I do, you can see Maserati has two little door handle pulls inside of there. One is sort of electric. It works just with a touch, and the other one is a hard pull. If for any reason you have a dead battery or something. Hopefully not. That never happens in Italian cars. When I was a kid, Maseratis were, we have big jets overhead. Anyway, Maseratis were kind of for, outsiders. They're neat cars. They were expensive. They had the big, strange, square-looking Quattroporte and the little biturbo, which was also a little bit square-looking. They were just outside the realm of normal. They were cool to look at. People were impressed by them, but there just weren't that many. By contrast, they're selling a ton of these cars. You know, Maserati has really gone mainstream, and a big part of that is they've actually managed to build a very reliable and lovely car that's easy to drive and own. So kudos to them on that front. You can see this has beautiful cream beige and black contrast inside. Lovely, genuine, of course, wood trim. Very nice subtle black window switches, mirror switches, door pulls, all sorts of stitched wrapped leather everywhere with contrasting stitching. The cream beige seats, again with the contrasting stitching, beautiful to look at. Little chrome touches on the door pull. You got room back there to actually stuff some people. You can see a nice sort of leatherette package shelf in the contrasting blue, very nice Alcantara headliner. Embossed Tridents in the in the headrest. You got a cup holder down there, and what is that? What kind of controls do we have? Just some vents back there for giving those guys some air. The seat also moves forward when you put it forward like that, and then slowly makes its way back. And I do mean slowly, so you have to wait for a minute. Okay, there it is. So let's hop in. So, of course, this is a car well in excess of 100 G's to buy, so it's extraordinarily well appointed. But hell, you know what? Let me fire this thing up with the door open. You gotta hear this. I know it's gonna beep at us, but... I mean, that sound is magical. Absolutely love it. With Sport, we're gonna get a little bit more. Yeah, I could just sit there and listen to that all day. I really don't see any reason to have a radio in this car, even though it has a particularly good one. So let me get back here, get my seatbelt on, and go over a couple of the features in here. All right, so first off, what's facing us is this beautiful wood and leather steering wheel, which is absolute artwork. It looks like it was designed by, you know, sort of old Italian artisans they keep in a basement at Maserati. Got a little bit of AC going. A lovely laid out instrument cluster with, you know, blue and white, very, very attractive color combination. Beautiful covering on the dashboard, contrasts really nicely with the blue, the analog clock, the real wood, the cream. Beautiful brushed nickel finish to the right of the, the left of the infotainment system. Which of course is a great system. So even though it's sort of indecipherable, it took me a minute to get anything to show up, but let's give ourselves a little more dimmable stuff there. All right, so we go through the modes. You get into your trip odo stuff, and let's see, let me get my lights off so it bumps up a little bit. There we go. You know, you got your Bluetooth, you've got your AM, FM, you've got your satellite radio, you've got your navigation, all very nice stuff. This row of buttons here, that gives you the sport setting with that fantastic electrically operated valve on the exhaust. Traction control on and off if you want to create a smoke show in front of Cars and Coffee. Park off will turn off your parking sensors. And MSB, that's a stability program. You know what? That's also a traction control. So that might be a snow button, and that's probably the traction control off. Over here, your in-dash CD, nice stuff. Phone, Bluetooth, you know, so on and so forth. Down here, dual side climate control, beautiful wood and leather shifter, a little bit of patina, just lovely on this 25,000 mile car. It's also gated, so if you want to go over to the left and bang your way through the gears this way, you can. Of course, you can also use these incredible paddle shifters to do the same thing. Little place to put your stuff there. The world's smallest ashtray. I hope you're not a heavy smoker if you are one. Of course, this thing's never been smoked in, which is great. But if you are a smoker, you better, you know, keep it to 1 or 2 cigarettes, or smoke those little teeny ones. I can't remember, Capris or something. In here you got some cup holders. In here you got more cup holders, which really don't look like it's a safe place to put a cup. But you also do have a USB output there as well. Up top, you've got self-dimming mirror. Also the side mirrors. You've got the Alcantara, beautiful. You've got Home Link. You got I'm not gonna reach over there. You got a nice standard glove box there. Love the Gran Turismo S badging on the dash, and there's a very nice set of books. You can see it's the leather starting to go off a little bit. I don't know what it is about soft leather books from Maserati, but after like 20 years, those things are, you know, they look like they were brought up from the Titanic, no matter where you keep them. On the steering wheel, we've got volume control. And, you know, this goes through the radio presets. You got voice command you can use with the navigation, answer your telephone, mute everything, change what you're listening to with the source button. Over here, another row of buttons, your gas door, you know, this changes the modes on the display, your dimmer, park control stuff, your automatic headlights and fog lights. You know, it's just all very beautifully laid out. And of course, that, you know, 58 speaker Bose sound system is terrific. Additionally, you have airbags all over the place. You want to stay safe in your midlife crisis, and that's not going to be a problem with all the airbags in this car. All right, let's go for a spin. Should I put the windows down? Yeah, let's do that. You know, it's nice with the convertibles and the way you hear the engine, but there's just something about the rigidness and sportiness of a coupe that I prefer. Oh, good Lord. Again, do you really need a radio? So 433 horsepower on tap, although it is a big, heavy car. You know, with the sport button on, it dampens the suspension. It's got that patented skyhook suspension, which is really quite smooth without sport, but it does firm it up a little bit with that. So a little bit of a trade-off. If you want to hear this magical sound, then you're also going to get some pothole feel as well. So, you know, it'd be nice if they had a bit more of a, you know, turn one thing off, another thing on type deal. But, you know, I'm not going to argue with the Italian engineers. Goes down the road beautifully. Again, just 24,000 miles on this thing. Everything nice, proper. There's absolutely no, you know, wear anywhere. There's no paint anywhere on the car. It's all original leather, never been touched up. The fellow who owned this thing was extremely particular. It took him months and months of looking to find the right car, and when he did, he kept it very well. Let's hammer it a little. Oh man, does that sound nice. Now that would run all the way up to its top speed of about 183, which I sure would love to do in this residential neighborhood, but it's probably a bad idea. Anyway, what a great machine. 2011 Maserati Grand Turismo S. Fantastic color combination. Beautiful condition. 24,000 miles. This thing is an absolute champion. If you have an interest, give us a call. 239-649-7300. On the web at mercedesexpert.com. Thanks so much for having a look. We appreciate it. We'll see you with the next one.